Hello, everyone. This morning we are here to discuss and debrief about the Robb Elementary School shooting. The Robb Elementary School shooting occurred on May 24th, 2022, when a lone attacker entered the school and killed 21 people, 19 children, and 2 adult teachers. 17 other people were injured. Robb Elementary, as you know, is in Uvalde, Texas. This tragic event has been covered by the news. Everyone here has a copy of the Uvalde legislative report and has gone through it, so I'm not going to go through and detail about every step of it. What I do want to discuss is the actions that were taken and how that affects this agency. The shooter was known to have started the shooting on the streets in the city, and police officers were actively engaging that officer on foot, and they made chase. The suspect went onto the school over a 5-foot fence. One of the first things that I want to speak about, one of the other officers was seen driving through the parking lot at a high rate of speed. When we do this job, it is incumbent upon us to understand that we are not going to always be able to stay inside our vehicle. We will sometimes have to exit our vehicle and make chase on foot. When that officer lost sight of him so that he could pull around into the parking lot versus following that suspect and staying on foot with him and engaging, taking cover and bounding as need be, he lost sight of him, which gave the shooter the opportunity to enter the school. And it is known from the Uvalde legislative report that there were over 100 shots fired within that first 3 minutes, which is when it is thought that most of the people who died was within those first few minutes. The officers did the right thing by making chase and attacking the classroom and descending on the classroom and trying to breach the classroom. However, with the first burst of fire, the officers were repelled, and that is when momentum was said to have slowed. It was said to have stopped at this point. The officers then, over a course of 73 minutes, messed around waiting to try to get into the classroom. As we all know, one of the main tenets of alert is stop the killing, stop the dying. Stop the killing, stop the dying. That is what we know that we are supposed to do. And rather than finding a way to get into that classroom quickly, the officers delayed. One other aspect that is believed to have occurred is because there was a ranking officer, the chief of police, was actually at that initial team. Leadership was thought to be head. I need for you guys to make sure that all of your troops understand, regardless of stars and bars and stripes, if a leader is failing to accomplish this mission that we have learned from over 20 years of these active shooters, that we've got to get in immediately, then it is incumbent upon us to ensure that our troops know that they need to lead that situation. They have to speak up. It is imperative that they speak up and say something. It is unknown why anybody may have frozen and why they did not get into the classroom 111 and 112. But that is not what I'm here to speak about today. What I need for you to depart upon your troops is we have got to establish a command. Failure to do so in this case is clearly been investigated and now reported that there was chaos due to the failure of leadership in establishing that initial command, and then the subsequent commands that come after. Now, as an agency, the agency failed the people because they failed to control the message that got out. There were a lot of different stories, and I need for you all, my request to each of you is to ensure that your people understand to refer all questions to our public affairs office. Our public affairs office and whoever the public affairs mediator is will at that time give one story and disseminate information from one place. At no time are officers at an incident such as this to be speaking with the media. What happened here was there was one of the worst things that could happen was a definitive telling of how many people had died, and that telling was incorrect. Then it changed, and then other things changed. And then in the days of social media, as we have, mistakes like this spread almost instantaneously around the world. We cannot allow that to happen. We have got to ensure that we have a assured mediation output to the media. In this case, in operating in the area that we operate in, they had regional help in BORTAC who came in and got into that classroom and ended the situation. However, by the time BORTAC got in there, it was 73 minutes later, and according to the medical examiner, it is thought that some of the people who did die may have been saved had they got in there sooner. We, as an agency, have enough equipment because that was an active shooter situation. It would happen randomly. You're not going to always have shields. Your troops are not going to always have a shield right there. That's why we train with alert, and we train with alert tactics so that people understand how to bound and move from cover and concealment place to place to place until we make entry. It is why we train getting into classrooms and getting into spaces where shooters may be. Make no doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen, when somebody is shooting back at you with live fire ammunition, it is scary. Having bullets whizzing past you is a scary situation. It is, however, what we signed up for. We are the people on the other end of 911. We're the people that were called for help and are expected to help. That is our job. That is our mission.